Cowboys urged to sign recently released 2023 Browns third-round pick. The Cleveland Browns cut their roster from 90 to 53 players on August 27, which posed challenges as they attempted to fill out their roster. The Browns parted ways with multiple players who could make an impact for a different team, including 2023 third-round pick Siaki Ika. Ika didn't play much in his first season, appearing in 4 games, but could be an intriguing option for a team looking for depth. Brian Martin of SB Nation's Blogging the Boys believes he'd be a great fit for the Dallas Cowboys, urging them to sign the defensive tackle to bulk up their interior defensive line. Siaki Ika was the 98th overall pick in the third round of the 2023 NFL Draft by the Cleveland Browns, Martin wrote on August 30. The former LSU and Baylor defensive tackle unfortunately got caught in a numbers game in Cleveland and is now a free agent. At 6 feet 3 inches, 335 pounds, he's an intriguing young DT for a team like the Cowboys who are looking to bulk up the interior of their defensive line. The Dallas Cowboys may have added Jordan Phillips and Linval Joseph to the mix recently in the hopes of upgrading their defensive front for the 2024 season, but they shouldn't stop there. Siaki Ika fits the size parameters Mike Zimmer likes in his DTs, and he's also someone the Cowboys showed somewhat of an interest in the pre-draft process back in 2023. Ika never turned into a Ferrari. Cutting a player drafted in the third round a year ago was a bit surprising. However, the Cleveland Browns' defensive line is arguably their best unit, and there's plenty of defensive tackle depth on the roster. The Browns, at one point, had high hopes for the Baylor product. Shortly after the Browns drafted him in 2023, defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz said he wanted Ika to be a Ferrari. "You play the game the way it should be played, so we're real excited to have you here," Schwartz said in May of 2023, according to Anthony Poisel, a Browns staff writer. "You're not a dump truck anymore now, Apu. You're a Ferrari." Ika never became that, but that could have been because he wasn't given much of an opportunity to do so in game action. How Ika could help the Cowboys. If the former Cleveland Browns DT gets an opportunity with a team like the Dallas Cowboys, he'd have a chance to play for a team searching to win a Super Bowl. Much like the Browns, the Cowboys' defense is also one of the better units in the NFL. The Cowboys would be taking a chance on him, as Ika hasn't shown anything yet in his short NFL career, but he has the size and tools to be a player who finds success. Dallas has had a quiet offseason in terms of improving their roster, so they could still be searching for more help as they head into the season. He had an impressive college career, including his junior campaign, when he finished with 4 sacks, 19 tackles, and 1 pass deflection. The Cowboys would have to hope that he returns to that form and be the player he was expected to be when the Browns drafted him. Cap room is always available. How Cowboys and Eagles differ fundamentally in how they use the salary cap. When the Cowboys and CeeDee Lamb agreed on a new contract last week, the initial reports revealed a pretty straightforward deal, a 4-year contract worth $136 million, which includes a signing bonus of $38 million prorated over the next 5 years, annual salaries of between $25 million and $30 million per year, plus $4 million worth of roster bonuses. In table form, this is what the initial reports looked like. The 4-year contract is tacked on top of the $17,991,000 Lamb was scheduled to make this year, which is why the total above shows $153.9 million, $136 million plus $17.9 million, for the next 5 years. The Cowboys have effectively secured Lamb for the next 5 years at an average annual value of $30.8 million. But after those initial contract reports, Todd Archer of ESPN followed up with more contract details that showed the Cowboys had added a void year to Lamb's contract. Void years are a cap tool used by NFL teams that take advantage of the fact that the NFL allows signing bonuses to be prorated over up to 5 years for salary cap purposes. In the Lamb contract above, the $38 million signing bonus that Lamb gets this year is prorated over the next 5 years at $7.6 million per year. And traditionally these signing bonuses, as the name implies, were handed out when the contract was signed. But you can also use that proration later in a contract. The classic contract restructure, which the Cowboys like to use, is done later in a contract and simply converts base salary into a signing bonus, which is then spread out over the next 5 years for salary cap purposes again. And if the 5-year proration lasts longer than the length of the contract, void years are added to the end of the contract to account for the 5-year proration period. The other way to use proration later in a contract is via an option bonus. Instead of waiting a few years and then doing a contract restructure, you plug the option bonus into the contract right away. And that's exactly what the Cowboys did with Lamb's contract. Originally due $30.9 million in 2028 as a base salary, the Cowboys turned $29 million of that into an option bonus, leaving a base salary of $1.9 million. For cap purposes, the $29 million is spread out over 5 years at $5.8 million per year. But because Lamb's contract ends in 2028, the Cowboys added 4 void years to the contract to spread out the cap hit. This is what Lamb's contract with the void years now looks like. The Cowboys lowered Lamb's cap hit in 2028 from $39.6 million to $16.4 million with the option bonus. But if there's no extension for Lamb and he's released after 2028, the remaining prorated option bonus in the void years of his contract would accelerate into 2029 and leave the Cowboys with a cap hit of $23.2 million. The Cowboys are not entirely unfamiliar with void years in their contracts. Dak Prescott, DeMarcus Lawrence, Zach Martin, and Brandon Cooks all have void years in their contracts that could accelerate to a combined cap hit of up to $78 million in 2025 if none of them are extended. One team that's taken advantage of these void years at an unprecedented level are the Eagles. In Lamb's case, the Cowboys added 1 option bonus to the contract. On A.J. Brown's recent contract extension, signed in May 2024, the Eagles converted Brown's base salary into an option bonus in every single year of his contract. Brown had an existing contract through 2026, and the Eagles tacked on a 3-year, $96 million contract. Here's what that contract looks like, with a split for every single bonus proration, and there are a lot in that contract. Less than 1 week remains until the official kickoff of the Dallas Cowboys season. Yet, it appears franchise quarterback Dak Prescott will enter the campaign without a contract extension finalized and his future with the team uncertain. Those headlines will continue to swell as they have since the dust settled on CeeDee Lamb's extension a week ago. The situation has grown tiresome for both parties, evidenced in Prescott's comments on the matter a few days ago. But it seems the players around the team have grown weary of the drama as well. Friday, Mike Tannenbaum appeared on ESPN's Get Up, suggesting that Colorado Buffalo's quarterback Shedeur Sanders has a higher likelihood of leading America's team under center next season than the current quarterback. There's a better chance, in my opinion, that Shedeur Sanders could be the quarterback there next year than Dak Prescott at this point. Cowboys defensive back Jordan Lewis expressed his frustration with the hot take. "I can't emphasize enough how much I can't stand UMFS. The questions for Prescott, franchise leadership and his teammates will carry on until an agreement comes to fruition. Regardless, the players have become annoyed with the situation. Those around the roster work with Prescott every day, and to this point, he has shown up to all necessary activities. No boisterous complaints, no holdouts, or anything of the sort has transpired. Contract or not, this group backs its quarterback and are ready to face a season mounted with more pressure than most in recent memory. These slights and jabs from outside the walls of the star are an insult to that commitment. Perhaps the Cowboys and Prescott strike a deal at the 11th hour and put these distractions to the side. Whether that happens or not, Lewis' comments serve a glaring reminder that Prescott's job remains a matter beyond just dollars and cents. Walking away from him would mean a potentially costly change in the leadership structure on the team. That, combined with the reality of his on-field ability, should make the Cowboys urgent to secure their quarterback before it is too late.